Hello, my beautiful friend, and welcome to Heaven of the Heart. This is your safe space to pause, breathe, and find strength again. Here, we talk about self-care, love, and the gentle power that lives within every woman. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Let's begin.
Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and wondered, am I still the same woman I used to be before all the hurt? The heartbreak, the betrayal, the disappointment, the silent nights where your pillow held your tears more than anyone ever held you. So many of us carry invisible cracks inside. Life has a way of breaking us open through lost love, broken trust, or the weight of circumstances we never asked for. And in those moments, it's easy to believe the lie that being broken means you're somehow less, somehow unworthy, somehow no longer whole. But here's the truth I want you to hear right from the start. You are not defined by your pain. You are defined by how you rise from it. Yes, you've been hurt. Yes, you've been broken. But brokenness is not the end of your story. It's the soil where your new beginning takes root. Every scar you carry is not just a reminder of what went wrong, but a symbol of the strength it took to survive. And survival is the first step toward blooming. This episode is called From Broken to Blooming because I want you to see yourself differently, not as a victim of what life has done to you, but as a woman in the process of transformation. Just like a flower that grows through the cracks in concrete, your pain can become the very place where beauty and strength take shape. Over the next few minutes, we'll walk together through a gentle but powerful reminder that your pain doesn't define you, that brokenness is not your permanent state, and that blooming is not just possible, it's your destiny. So, if you've been feeling like pieces of yourself are scattered and lost, stay with me. This is your space to breathe, to heal, and to remember who you are. You don't need to be fixed. You don't need to erase your past. What you need is to allow yourself to rise, to grow, to bloom exactly as you are, right here, right now. Let's begin this journey together. There's a story I want to share with you. Maybe you'll see yourself in it. There was once a woman who felt like life had taken everything from her. Her marriage ended after years of fighting for love that never came back. She gave her all to someone who only gave half in return. And when it all collapsed, she didn't just lose the relationship, she lost herself. Her smile faded, her confidence shrank, and the mirror became a place she avoided. People told her to be strong, but strength felt like a word that belonged to someone else. To her, mornings felt heavy, nights felt endless, and she wondered if she would ever feel whole again. Maybe you've been there too. Maybe your story doesn't look the same, but the ache feels familiar. The ache of betrayal. The ache of being left behind, the ache of wondering if you were ever enough. Here's what no one tells us when we're in that space. Brokenness isn't permanent. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it feels like the end. But brokenness is a season, not your identity. When this woman hit her lowest point, she began to notice something she had ignored before. On her walks, she saw flowers pushing through cracks in the pavement, delicate blooms that had no business surviving in the harsh concrete, but they did. They rose, they grew, they bloomed anyway. And one day she thought to herself, if that flower can find its way through the hardest ground, maybe I can too. That was the first shift. It didn't happen all at once. Healing never does. But something inside her whispered, you can rise. And that's where your journey begins too. Step 1, let yourself feel. We live in a world that rushes us through pain. People say, move on or get over it, as if heartbreak is a suitcase you can pack away. But real healing asks for presence. to sit with your sadness, to honor your tears, to allow yourself to grieve what was lost. Pain is not weakness. Pain is proof you cared, and giving yourself permission to feel is the first step toward release. Step 2. Rewrite the story in your mind. So often we let pain define us. I was abandoned, so I must be unlovable. I was cheated on, so I must not be enough. I failed once, so I must be a failure. But none of those things are true. They are interpretations, not facts. The truth is, someone else's betrayal doesn't shrink your worth. Someone else's leaving doesn't erase your value. Your mistakes do not cancel your potential. You get to decide how the story of your pain is told. Do you label yourself as broken, or do you label yourself as a survivor in the process of blooming? That choice is yours, and it will change everything. Step 3, gather your pieces gently. Healing is not about becoming the old you. That version of you doesn't exist anymore, and that's okay. What you're doing now is gathering the pieces of who you are, piece by piece, and learning to love the woman you are becoming. It's like creating a mosaic. From a distance, broken glass looks like trash, but when placed together with intention, those broken fragments create art more beautiful than before. That's what your life can become when you choose to honor even the shattered parts of your story. Step 4, nourish the soil of your soul. Blooming takes time. Flowers don't grow overnight. They need sunlight, water, and patience. Your heart needs the same. What are you feeding yourself? Not just food, but thoughts, words, environments, relationships. If you surround yourself with people who drain you, your soil stays dry. But if you choose voices that lift you, books that inspire you, routines that give you peace, you water your soul. Healing is not only about removing what hurts, but adding what helps. Step 5, take one brave step at a time. This woman, the one I told you about, didn't wake up one day completely healed. She started small. She joined a yoga class, even though she felt awkward at first. She journaled her feelings, even though the pages were messy. She said yes to coffee with a friend, even though she wanted to hide. Each small step built her strength. And over time, she realized she wasn't just surviving anymore, she was living again. And one day, she caught her reflection in the mirror, and she smiled. Not because life was perfect, not because the past was erased, but because she had bloomed. And that smile came from a place deeper than she ever knew existed. Here's the secret, my love. Blooming doesn't mean your pain disappears. It means your pain no longer controls you. It means you've transformed what tried to destroy you into the reason you stand stronger. Think about the women you admire most, the ones who carry wisdom, grace, and strength. Do you know what they all have in common? They've walked through pain too. They've faced heartbreak, betrayal, and failure, but instead of letting it define them, they let it refine them. And that's the invitation for you today, to see your pain not as the full story, but as the soil for your becoming. So if you're listening right now and you feel broken, I want you to pause. Place your hand over your heart. Feel that steady beat. That's proof. You are still here. You are still alive. You are still capable of rising. Your worth has never left you. Your beauty has never disappeared. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. You are simply in the middle of a transformation. Brokenness is not your name. Blooming is. From broken to blooming. That's the journey. That's your story waiting to unfold. Take a deep breath with me, in and out. Now, I want you to think about the moments in your life that felt like breaking points. Maybe it was the end of the relationship, maybe a betrayal you never saw coming, maybe the silence of being unseen, unheard, or unappreciated. let yourself remember not to stay in the pain, but to see how far you've come since then. Every single one of those moments left a mark on you. Some scars are still tender, some are quiet now, but all of them are part of the story that makes you who you are. And here's the part we often forget. Scars don't only represent pain. They also represent survival. They're proof that you've walked through something hard and you're still standing. When we reflect on pain, we usually ask, why did this happen to me? But I want to invite you into a different question. What has this pain grown inside me that could not have grown otherwise? Think about it. Pain can grow compassion. It can grow resilience. It can grow wisdom. Without heartbreak, we might never understand the depth of empathy. Without failure, we might never discover the strength of perseverance. Without loss, we might never recognize the beauty of what still remains. This doesn't mean the pain was fair. It doesn't mean you deserved it. No woman deserves betrayal, abandonment, or neglect. But even though pain is unfair, what you do with it is powerful. You get to choose whether it becomes poison that eats you from the inside or fertilizer that helps you bloom. Take a moment to reflect. What have you learned about yourself from your hardest seasons? What inner strength surprised you when everything seemed impossible? What beauty in your life now exists because you chose to rise instead of give up? When you sit with these questions, you begin to see yourself differently, not as someone broken beyond repair, but as someone forged by fire, shaped by storms, and still carrying the capacity to bloom. I want you to remember this too. Healing is not a straight line. Some days you'll feel like you're blooming, and other days you'll feel like you're back at the beginning. That's normal. Healing is more like a spiral. You come back to old places, but each time you return, you're at a higher level of understanding and strength. Don't mistake revisiting pain as failing. It's part of the process. And while you reflect, give yourself grace. So often we are quick to offer compassion to others, but slow to extend it to ourselves. You deserve the same gentleness you would give to a dear friend. Place your hand on your heart and whisper to yourself, I am allowed to heal at my own pace. I am allowed to rise again. I am allowed to bloom. Reflection is not about reliving your past. It's about reclaiming your perspective, seeing yourself not as a victim of what happened, but as the heroine of your own unfolding story. So, as you carry these thoughts, I want you to hold on to this image. A flower pushing through the cracks of concrete. Fragile but determined. Delicate but unstoppable. That flower is you. You don't need perfect soil, perfect conditions, or perfect circumstances to bloom. All you need is the courage to keep reaching toward the light. That is the heart of reflection. Honoring your past, recognizing your strength, and gently reminding yourself that brokenness was never the end of your story. It was only the beginning of your blooming. Let me speak directly to your heart right now, woman to woman. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not too much, and you are not too little. You are not defined by who left you, what hurt you, or how many times life has knocked you down. Your worth has never left you. It was there when you were smiling, and it was there when you were crying into your pillow. It was there when someone loved you well, and it was still there when someone failed to see your value. Your worth doesn't rise when people praise you, and it doesn't fall when people reject you. It is constant, unshakable, and deeply rooted in who you are, not in what has happened to you. I know it's easy to forget that. Pain can be so loud that it drowns out the truth. Betrayal can whisper lies. You're not enough. Failure can echo, you'll never make it. Loneliness can convince you no one will ever love you. But those voices are not the truth. They are wounds speaking, not your worth, and wounds heal. Here's what I want you to carry with you. You are allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. You are allowed to take up space in this world, to dream big, to love deeply, to live fully. You are worthy. Not someday, not if you prove yourself, not if someone else approves, but right now, as you are. Sometimes when you've been through deep hurt, you start believing you must earn your value back, that you have to look a certain way, succeed in a certain way, or be chosen by someone again to feel whole. But you don't need anyone else to hand you your worth. It's already yours. It was never theirs to give, and it can never be taken away. I want you to imagine standing in front of a mirror. Not the mirror that shows you only flaws or the reflection of your pain, but a mirror that sees your soul. What would it show you? It would show you a woman who has survived, a woman who has loved, a woman who has endured storms and still dares to rise with hope. That is power. That is beauty. That is worth. Every morning when you wake up, I want you to whisper to yourself, I am not my pain. I am not my past. I am the woman who blooms anyway. Every night before you sleep, I want you to remind yourself, even in the dark, my worth shines. Even in the silence, I matter. Even in the waiting, I am enough. This is not just positive thinking. It's truth. And the more you repeat it, the more your heart will believe it. So if today you're feeling heavy, let me remind you, you are still blooming. Even if it's slow, even if it's quiet, even if you can't see the petals yet, growth is happening beneath the surface. Healing is unfolding inside you. You don't have to rush. You don't have to be perfect. You only need to keep moving forward, one gentle step at a time. Your worth is not measured by the pain you've endured, but by the courage you carry as you rise from it. And you, my dear, have more courage than you realize. Never forget this. You are not broken. You are blooming. As we come to the end of this episode, I want you to pause and take one last deep breath with me. Inhale, hold, and exhale. You've just walked through a journey of remembering that pain is not your definition and brokenness is not your final chapter. What tried to break you has already revealed something important, that you are still here. You are still standing. You are still capable of love, of joy, of blooming again. Life has a way of making us believe that we are only as strong as the people who stand beside us, only as valuable as the love we receive, or only as whole as the things we achieve. But none of that is true. Your value has always been inside you. Your worth is not up for debate. Your story is still unfolding, and it is filled with hope. So today, let this be your gentle reminder. You don't need to erase your past to create a beautiful future. You don't need to hide your scars to be worthy of love. You don't need to wait for anyone else to tell you who you are. You already know. You are a woman who blooms. You are a woman who rises. You are a woman who turns pain into power and brokenness into beauty. If no one has told you this today, let me be the first. I am proud of you. I am proud of how far you've come, even if you don't see it yet. I am proud of the quiet strength you've carried, and I believe in the woman you are becoming. Before you leave, take one more moment to place your hand over your heart and whisper to yourself, I am not broken. I am blooming. Carry those words with you, not just today, but tomorrow, and the day after that, and every time you feel yourself slipping back into doubt. Let it anchor you. Let it remind you. And if this message touched you, I invite you to share it with another woman who might need the same reminder. Healing is a journey we don't have to walk alone. Together, we bloom stronger. Thank you for spending this time with me, for trusting me with your heart, and for allowing Heaven of the Heart to be a part of your healing journey. Until next time, remember, you are worthy. You are loved. You are blooming.
Thank you for spending this time with me on Heaven of the Heart. Remember, you are worthy of care, love, and happiness every single day. If today's message touched your heart, please share it with another woman who needs this reminder too. Until next time, take care of your body, your mind, and your soul. And never forget, beauty has no age, and your heart is your true home.